Welcome back to What You Missed, a video game news show where I discuss articles that occurred within days to a week ago that you may have missed that are important to the video game industry and possibly to you. I'm back with some interesting news. I would appreciate it if you guys would sign in and make sure to like the video at the end of it if you enjoyed it, and share all of this news with all other gamers because it's really cool stuff today. I want to start off with one of the coolest stories I'm going to be covering, and that is there's an individual out there who is named Luke, and they have their own YouTube channel, and I'll link it in the description below. That's where this footage in the background is coming from. This individual repairs things. You can see that he has a lot of stuff, and he has the knowledge to do so in some way, shape, or form. It's not extremely difficult to do if you know what you're doing. You know, a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of elbow grease will fix most old games. But this repair specifically is amazing. This individual found an NES and games rotting in a barn for 20 years, and he was able to get both of the games repaired and working perfectly. You should see the video because to see the condition they were in, covered in dirt, Spider City inside the cartridges, and these are games with backup batteries. And though one of the backup batteries was dead, the other one actually booted up a save file, and he was playing through it. It's absolutely amazing. So that's from the times where durability and quality was an utmost practice. Circuit boards are very easily kept alive. There's not a lot of things that can kill a circuit board as it is just one board. So it's very easy to see that you can resurrect them, as opposed to a disc that gets a scratch and, well, it's done. On to the next story. Super Mario Odyssey won't have a game over screen. So I know this existed because they were doing interviews and talking about gameplay during E3, but it's kind of a main story, and basically what ends up happening is that if you lose life in the game, you lose 10 coins. If you have no coins, then you don't die, you don't get a game over, you just don't get any more coins. Coins are important in the game because they made it so that you can buy costumes and things within the game with the coins that you pick up. So it would be extremely annoying to die over and over again when you're trying to unlock a special costume. Now this brings up the question, is this game going to be basically easy mode for individuals who are playing it? And to a point, I guess it probably is, but at the same time, it's nice that it's not going to end your game, that you can actually sit through and play through the entire game knowing that you won't have to start over and redo everything up to a specific point because you died. On one hand, I understand that it is nice for casual players, as Mario is very casual friendly. On the other hand, I do recall very difficult sections and levels in Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario World itself, and other older Mario games that were challenging and very fun to play when you overcame that challenge. So is this making the game too easy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Nintendo reveals the top Switch software downloaded in Japan for 2017 so far, and surprisingly enough, Snipperclips is #1, but I don't think that's that surprising. A lot of people would be surprised that that's the game because it's kind of a small game, you know? It's not a big AAA, oh, you know, this is the new Battlefront, this is the new Zelda, this is the new Mario. It's not that. But the reason it's #1 is because I'm fairly certain that it's a good game and it's digital only. The second ones and third ones are Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Minecraft. And the other 5 include Kamiko and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it's not really a surprise to see that those are the ones that are on top. ARMS is coming in at #7, and being an early launched game recently, that is a good indication that Nintendo is doing good. People are wanting to download their software instead of saying, hey, I'm not going to download it, I'll wait for a physical copy. Either way, Nintendo are selling games very well, and once again, I would suggest if you are interested in buying stock, buy it in Nintendo. Now, on to something very unusual. IGN has an article where they review the EVGA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti SC2 with ICX. These abbreviations, man. At the end of the day, a lot of people think I am a Nintendo-oriented channel. Well, it just so happens that there's a lot of stories with Nintendo, and a lot more people seem to be interested in that around my channel. But I love all gaming, especially PC gaming. I have a 390X in my rig, and my significant other has a GTX 970 EVGA for the Win Edition. So we're big PC gamers as well, and I wanted to talk about graphics cards very shortly in a small blurb here. There's always a lot of people questioning graphics cards. They don't know much about PC on this channel. I don't know if that's because it's a younger audience only. I know plenty of old people who don't know that much about about computers or graphics cards either. But I want to say something. Even though that this is a top tier graphics card review, and you can get top tier $750, $850 graphics cards that cost more than your laptop and maybe your computer itself, or both combined together, you don't need those. You do not need those to play games on your PC at a decent resolution and a decent frame rate. You can pick up a 1050 Ti, you can pick up a 1060. These are cards that are between the $100 to $300 range. And you might say, well, that's very expensive too, but just think about it this way. If you buy a console for $300, that's basically what you're paying for. If you have a decent tower computer and a very, very low powered or no graphics card at all, and you know that you can put a graphics card in there, something like a lower powered 1050 Ti would allow you to play games at 30 to 60 FPS, depending on what settings you want them on. So if you wanted console quality with the better visuals, you could play games at 1080, 30 FPS pretty easily on a 1050 Ti. Even demanding games, even games like Doom that was released last year, which are pretty good games and very, very fun. So if you look at it like that, and then later on, you can upgrade it to something better until your CPU bottlenecks your graphics card and you eventually have to buy an entirely new PC or new CPU or a new motherboard and all of that stuff. The point is that when you see reviews like this and you see a lot of people saying, oh, PC Master Race, I'm sitting here with my 1080 Ti, man, oh, you suck. Just put it out of your mind. These are people who need to feel good about themselves and their purchases. It doesn't matter how great of a card you have, there's always going to be someone better. I remember seeing a PC once with 8 GTX Titan XPs. These are the high-end, highest-end consumer cards that are also used for gaming and editing as well, not just for CAD or anything like that. And I saw him with 8, and he had 2 server-grade CPUs as well. So yeah, if you're one of those people who think you have a top-tier system, beat that system. You're not going to come close to it, ever. And it worked, and it played games very, very well. So for those out there who are thinking that they have to have the biggest cards, no. You could probably walk into Best Buy, and if you found like an RX 460, maybe a GTX 1050 Ti, even a 1060, which is a little bit more expensive, that will work out just fine. Just make sure you buy a more relatively new card, because buying older cards means you have to do a lot more research to know if they support DX12 and they support newer games. You can still get a great deal on older cards, you just need to know what you're looking for. And generally speaking, if you don't know much about graphics cards and you just want to get one immediately, the best option is to just pick up one that's between $100 to $300 and is a newer graphics card that'll fit your system. That way you don't have to go out and buy a power supply for those massive power hungry graphics cards as well. So moving on, Cuphead is apparently 100% Microsoft exclusive and will not come to the PS4. I like the wording in the title, Microsoft exclusive. You might instantly assume, oh, they're talking about Xbox. No, they said Microsoft exclusive. That means it will be exclusive to Microsoft PC and Xbox. So you can get it on Steam, and Windows 10 versions will be released on sites like GOG shortly after. So there you go. And that was the studio developer confirming that, talking about that in a quote. There's that. There's also the possibility that a Mac version and a Linux version will likely come out sometime soon as well. But because of their partnership and their deal with Microsoft, maybe that's the reason they won't make it for PS4, absolutely never make it for PS4, or maybe they just don't want to make it for Sony PS4. I don't know, maybe they have beef with Sony, or maybe they just don't want to go through the effort of doing that. Either way, it's probably not coming to the Nintendo Switch either. With that said, I'm very excited for Cuphead and would absolutely love to play it. How about you, ladies and gentlemen? My final story, and I'm going to be weighing in on the Star Wars Battlefront 2 pay-to-win according to recent footage. Apparently, this is on a website called NeoWin. I don't know what that is. I've never visited it, so take it with a grain of salt, but that's the citation. So apparently, from more recent gameplay footage, there's Call of Duty style loot boxes available, microtransactions for buying new stuff, maybe powerful weapons. Quote, players will be rewarded in-game through regular play in different earnable ways, including crates. For those who want to accelerate the rewards, they could do so by purchasing crates and contain randomized items and rewards. There it is. There's videos detailing this information, so you can assume whether or not this is going to unlock unlock certain characters maybe, because there are new villains and heroes announced. I believe General Grevous was hinted at. Maybe he will come about. I think what they're going to turn Battlefront 2 into is basically what Overwatch is, and they are going to use the Sith Lords and the Jedi as the heroes and the villains, and have supporting characters as well, like maybe Luke Skywalker when he wasn't a Jedi, but he had like blasters, or Stormtrooper Han Solo. Who knows what they'll end up coming out with, but that would be pretty cool to see it come out similar to Overwatch, as it seems like it fits the bill for that a lot better than it would any other type of gaming platform. I can't wait to see that this game is going to come out, but the pay-to-win mechanics, I'm not sure if that's pay-to-win, because if it just ends up being aesthetics, like the color of your lightsaber, or an outfit you can put on, maybe you can change Ben Kenobi to Old Kenobi, or General Kenobi from the Clone Wars, or Obi-Wan Kenobi from when he dueled Anakin on Mustafar. Who knows what you can do with these types of things, as long as they don't make it like, hey, you can unlock this awesome anti-Jedi character that can outdo Jedis very well, General Grievous, who's a Jedi killer, just for $9.99, and that alters the mechanics and gameplay of the game. So as long as the characters are cookie cutter, copy and paste, just aesthetics, then fine, you know? So what do you think about all these news stories? There's a lot to think about here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the section below, and make sure to check out that NES repair video. It's really, really cool. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I've been your host, Protomario, and I really appreciate you guys liking and sharing this video with everyone. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Good gaming, God bless, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.